Small displacement, lots of cylinders, a short stroke and low piston speed. This is roughly what defines a high-revving engine. As motorcycle engines are smaller, it is easier to reach high redline. Manufacturers are often limited in terms of engine displacements, which forces them to use revs for seeking more power. These are some of the highest revving motorcycles in the business. Drysdale V8. The Drysdale V8 is a special project made by an Australian named Ian Drysdale. From 5 different motorcycles, he managed to build this V8 powered bike and made 5 or 6 examples only. The flat plane V8 was created by coupling 2 4-cylinder Yamaha engines and various other parts. Honda RC166. As a part of the Honda RC series, the RC166 was one of the higher revving ones, with its small inline-6 engine. Being developed in 1964 and 1965, this motorcycle successfully ended the 1966 and 1967 MotoGP season. Afterwards, Honda decided to withdraw from motor racing and focus on Formula 1. As a comparison, imagine the cylinders being narrower than a bottle cap and the valves as big as a pencil eraser. Yamaha FZR 250. The FZR represented Yamaha's sports bike series. It started in the 80s and the FZR 250 was a part of it. As with many other 250cc supersport bikes, this one also received a top-tuned engine providing extraordinary performance, specifically a very high output, with a 18,500 RPM redline. Honda CBR 250RR. The CBR 250RR is a very famous motorcycle to rev this high. It was said only to be sold in Japan, but they were also exported to Australia. There were various versions of the CBR 250 family sold. The MC22 was allegedly the most extreme with a couple of modifications. However, the engine itself was pretty much untouched. Honda NR500. The story of the Honda NR500 has been spoken hundreds of times, but for those who miss the point, this is the bike that was created with a racing V8 in mind, but legally only permitted to use 4 combustion chambers. In order to compete with 2-strokes, it would need even higher redline or simply more cylinders. It was potentially good for 130 horsepower and 23,000 revs. Kawasaki ZXR 250R Ninja. The ZXR 250 was the smallest of all Ninjas sold by Kawasaki. It was also one of the oldest models. There were many variants, and the SP version, also known as the ZXR 250R, had a couple of upgrades, including a larger exhaust, different carbs, gear ratios, and an incredibly high rev limiter set to 20,000 RPM. Honda RC149. The RC149 was supposedly the world's first 125cc 5-banger, and during its season it managed to win 5 out of 9 races. The engine was mated to an 8-speed gearbox, and for its size and engine volume it could reach a respectable top speed of 130 miles per hour. These engines are also fascinating in the way that it is only usable from 17,000 RPM upwards. Honda RC116. The RC116 raced in the 50cc Grand Prix class in the 1966 and finished second. Though it wasn't victorious, it is rather interesting as it not only revs over 22,000 RPM, it also makes 320 plus horsepower per liter. For a couple of reasons, Honda reintroduced rim brakes on motorcycles which act directly on the alloy wheel, just like bicycle brakes. MTT-Y2K. The MTT turbine superbike isn't propelled by a piston engine, which means it doesn't play by the same rules. Though it is interesting as it turns at speeds over 50,000 RPM. It uses a Rolls-Royce turbine engine, and for its power, it really isn't very heavy.